So far, we've seen Bai's wild journey in the immortal world, where he joins the fire kitchen crew. He's not just any member though, he takes down a troublemaker Big Shot, and even wins a competition with his brothers, which gets him a promotion and introduces him to new peoples. Then, while stealing chicken, he disguises himself as a little turtle and wins the 10 Monuments exam. A test no one cracked in ages. Nobody suspects he's actually the small turtle guy, but leads onto him for his chicken stealing skills. And he asks him to enter in a competition, and Bai tries to bail, but guess what? He wins that too. Things take a twist when the law enforcement summons him. Meanwhile, Fang and Fei wait for the third member of their group, annoyed at his tardiness. They're clueless about who it could be, assuming it's some unreliable person, and the person is none other but our ugly lonely loser Bai. Fang and Fei are surprised that the law enforcement picked him for this job. After looking at Bai's ugly face, Fang realizes that he's clueless about everything, and Fang explains that their task is quite straightforward. They just need to find a guy named Huyan whom they seem to have lost contact with. It's not supposed to be risky, but Bai insists on being cautious. Fei pokes fun at him for being overly cautious. As Bai bids farewell, his ugly fat fire kitchen members show up, gifting him a wok as a parting present, and Zheng got clapped. Unfortunately, Bai is weak as a little bitch and struggles to carry it. Mei also appears to say goodbye, offering Bai some juicy pastries for his journey. She also provides him with elixirs and other items to help. The guy thereafter, Huyan, happens to be Mei's brother, the same one who rescued Mei from that washing machine incident. Mei thinks he's just goofing off with someone and forgot to hit them up. Despite Mei's refusal to believe he's in danger, she asks Bai to give him a good beating for worrying their parents. Bai assures her that her bro's all good and promises to bring him back safe, so that, when all three are together, they will have a threesome. The chubby member of Bai's group sheds a few tears after listening about everything, and they go on their quest, with Bai admitting it's his debut mission, making him nervous. He wonders if their destination is dangerous. He's all geared up for some flying sword action, but they're boarding a flying ship instead. Fei notes it's unusual for newbies like Bai to be on missions, and Bai spills that it wasn't his choice. In a flashback, as he was about to clap Mei, Bao came and took him outside, where we see the law enforcement hall calling Bai out for slacking on spiritual plant-growing missions for a year and breaking sector rules. So, as a slap on his ugly face, he's forced into this mission. Bai remembers Bao's warning about Fang possibly being a threat to him. Fang explains that their ship runs on spirit stones, but they're low on them, so they'll have to walk for part of the journey. They reach the heaven-reaching river, the spiritual energy source for all sectors. As they cruise downstream, Bai notices the energy thinning out. Bai's companions are surprised to learn that this is the first time he's hearing about other sectors. Upon arriving at their final stop, the Fallen Star Mountains, Bai wonders why they don't just wait until morning to explore, fearing they might stumble upon some sneaky, dangerous beasts lying in wait. His anxiety shoots up when Feng mentions the nearby demonic bloodstream sector. Bai tries to show bravery but loses composure when Fei tricks him. He quickly clarifies that he's not scared, just cautious. As he narrowly avoids falling prey to a hypnotizing flower, he stumbles upon a rabbit's corpse radiating some ominous vibes. Fang and Fei start getting nervous, suspecting a two-headed bat might be the culprit. These bad boy bats have toxic claws and teeth that cause a bad case of choking upon contact with blood. Just when they sense something closing in, they brace themselves. Fei swoops in to rescue Bai from getting squashed. To their surprise, they come face to face with a giant, and when a snake tries to go inside Fei, Bai draws on his snake-taming skills to save Fei. As they romantically gaze into each other's eyes, thinking they're safe, the giant suddenly pops up above them. They freeze, and after what feels like forever, the giant finally leaves, leaving them shook. Bai was in disbelief at what he had just witnessed. Fei explained that it was a giant, with strength surpassing the Foundation establishment level. If they'd been spotted, they'd have probably been done for. Bai's mind is blown that they've already crossed paths with the area's top-tier beast, but Feng casually drops that it's not even close to the most dangerous, hinting there might be even more dangerous surprises ahead. Trying to appear fearless, Bai walks ahead, unaware that Feng had put something on his shirt that attract two-headed bats. As a result, bats start going full on bananas, and the group had to fight them off with all their might. Feeling outnumbered, they decided to split up and regroup outside the forest. But when they looked around, Bai was nowhere to be found. Fei didn't hold back, calling Bai out as a chicken for disappearing while she went all superhero to battle the bats. Later, Feng sent a message over a transmitter, sharing that while Bai might have dodged the bats, it wasn't looking good for his survival rate in the wild forest. Fei soon arrived, and Feng mentioned they could only cross their fingers for Bai's well-being. However, Fei refused to stand by and wanted to search for him. Feng reminded her that the two-headed bats were like party animals at night, and going back into the forest is just asking for trouble. Feng accepts responsibility for leading them into the forest, but Fei cut in, saying nobody could have predicted the presence of bat. Still, she suggested they should at least try to find Bai, so they can at least retrieve his body and bring it back to the sector. Meanwhile, in the forest, Bai was running from the bats, realizing he had nowhere left to run. Next morning, Feng put on his best, disappointed face about Bai not responding to their smoke signal, realizing he had nowhere left to run. Mei thought he was ugly, but he's still a fellow sector member. Just when they were feeling like they could still hear Bai's voice, guess who pops up? My dick. Got him! Just kidding, Bai himself, standing right in front of them. Bai recounted how terrifying his experience had been, and asked Fei if she had been worried, noticing her big melons, dark circles in her eyes. Feng is amazed and was like, "Holy guacamole, you're alive!" As Bai spilled the beans about the bat's relentless pursuit. He made a heartfelt plea not to be left alone again, while Fei grilled him on why he didn't respond to their smoke signal pronto immediately. Bai reassures Fei that he was deeply concerned about them and shares that when he decided to confront the bats, things became quite thrilling. The battle helped him realize the strength of his small wooden dick. Sword, surprising Feng with the news that Bai not only survived but defeated the two-headed bats. Then, Bai dropped the bombshell that the bat's teeth are a rare material for making this burning blood incense elixir. So, he spent the night being a bat-toothed fairy and collecting them all. As they prepare to depart, they are suddenly attacked from above by a sinister eye. And just as he's on the verge of collapsing, Fei swoops in to rescue him. Feng drops some knowledge about the eyeball belonging to this ancient energy-sucking beast, capable of slowly draining a person's energy until death. Continuing their Huyan hunt, Bai started yelling the dude's name like it was a lost puppy. Feng, the detective, announced he'd cracked the case and found the last ping from Huyan's transmitter. But surprise, surprise, Huyan was nowhere to be found. Feng, always one step ahead, uncovered a note left by Huyan. The note spilled the beans that Huyan found something juicy in the mountains and went full Scooby-Doo to investigate. However, he didn't leave details related to that, leaving Fei to wonder what could have been so urgent. Feng suggested maybe Huyan went to visit the mountain clan guardians of the area. Bai, the wise one, suggested they report back to HQ before going all Sherlock. However, Fei insists on not alarming the sector over what she considers a minor issue and refuses to abandon Huyan. Bai assures everyone he's got safety on the brain, but Feng believes they can provide a comprehensive report once they finish their mission. After some time later, we spot two speedsters sprinting through a forest, discussing the importance and urgency of their task. Their movement is suddenly restricted by an unseen force, and they encounter a man who is surprised to find two demigods before him. He insists they must leave, as they are not welcome there. In another location, Bai's group reaches what seems to be a no-human place, but their surprise grows when a person from the Lucian clan emerges from a building. They get the VIP welcome inside, but Bai's like, "Hold up, this place smells fishy, and not the good kind." He begs them not to go in, but it's too late as their decision already made, leaving him to rely on his trusted protective talisman for safety. Inside, Bai's spidey senses are tingling like crazy because of weird trees and the sounds of silence. The dude they meet drops some wisdom about their leader being all about that quiet life for cultivation. While Feng is eager to meet the leader, the man informs them they simply need to follow him. Then, from the distance, this creepy voice starts crooning, giving Bai serious flashbacks to the spiritual food at the fire kitchen. The song warns them to behave and not shed a tear. Bai, being Mr. Cautious as usual, while Fei advises him to wait alone. The creepy sound keeps going on, making Bai contemplate the idea of turning back and facing punishment from the law enforcement hall. Suddenly, Bai hears footsteps and is ambushed by a red shadow. When he tries to spill the beans to the gang, they initially doubt him. However, Feng notices the man has vanished, and the group realizes Bai wasn't just hallucinating out of fear. Fei warns them not to touch the ribbons, explaining they induce madness. The mystery man, now revealed as the not-so-friendly neighborhood attacker, and Feng clarifies that their group is merely searching for someone. The man doesn't care and explains that if someone did arrive there, they are now departed from this world. implying that soon the group will join that person. Feng, always up for a showdown, declares he's gonna hold this dude accountable for messing with their spirit sector vibe and initiates battle mode. Even though Mr. Bad Guy is all resistance is futile, Feng puts up a strong fight. However, they soon find themselves overwhelmed by the ribbons. Bai attempts to contact the sector, only to find his transmitter on vacation. Meanwhile, the man calmly watches them, blocking their exit. Feng's eyes pop out when he sees some super unique array forming, a specialty of the blood sector that takes years to complete. Faye explains that once this array is done, it's bye-bye life force, hello slow and painful demise. Bai realizes it's bye-bye time, but he composes himself and rushes to save Faye as she comes under attack. Faye, amidst all the chaos, goes digging through the rubble for Bai, and he points out again that how concerned she was for him. However, she explains that she doesn't want to owe him a favor if he was killed because of her actions. Their chat gets cut short when the man starts rambling about the honor of being part of the Lucian clan's spiritual sacrifice. Feng can't believe Bai is once again running for his life, but Bai insists running is better than waiting to become fertilizer. Thinking he's got a clever escape plan, Bai soon realizes he's been tricked. Feng, with the power of his little brain, points out that the man is playing mind tricks with the array's powers. Faye decides to take on the man head-on. She tries to get close, finding it challenging. She resorts to using an explosive pill to injure him. With a bang, the man disappears into thin air, leaving Faye stunned to see Hu Yen seating there instead. Meanwhile, Bai pretends to attack demonic creature, then reveals it was a ruse to run toward the exit. Despite a momentary hold-up by the creature, Bai uses his strength to launch it into the air and defeats it. He notices this weakens the array but doesn't want to waste time. Bai knows it's now or never to make his escape, but just as he's about to bolt, Faye shows up with the injured Hu Yen. As Hu Yen wakes up, he warns them to flee, revealing that the Lucian clan has switched allegiance to the bloodstream sector. Faye explains they can't escape as the soul-sucking array is complete and roots emerge from the ground, attacking the group. Bai discloses that he created a hole in the array. Faye uses it to escape with Hu Yen, and Bai wonder how to enter Faye's hole. Bai finds himself trapped inside, thinking he's finally done for. Just when he's resigned to his fate, Feng asks for his help. However, it becomes clear that Feng orchestrated this to ensure Bai falls victim to the Roots' attack. Feng coldly explains that Bai survived the forest, but won't escape the Roots, destined to remain trapped forever. But he also gets clapped again. Seeing the gap in the array closing, Faye frantically signals to Bai from the outside, showing him his only chance to escape. Inside, Bai wakes up to the harsh reality of Feng's double cross and decides he's not going down without a fight, or at least a dramatic escape. Above ground, Feng finds himself in a rooty predicament, plotting his own explosive escape with a pill. To his shock, Bai emerges from the ground alive, defying Feng's expectations. Feng, realizing his plans are going up in smoke, declares they're all going down together and launches an explosive pill at him. The explosion rocks the place, and just as the dust settles, Feng gets swallowed up by the Roots, and Bai is propelled out of the array, surprised by Feng's attempt to blow him up. Thankfully, Bai's undying skin training saves the day, leaving him without a scratch. Meanwhile, Feng emerges from the Roots, vowing revenge on Bai, but the earlier man claims he will never escape their array. Bai pretends to mourn Feng's apparent demise and gives Feng credit for saving him, all while the Lucian clan, under the enigmatic leader, conducts some cryptic ritual. The Chen Yu spills the beans that they only managed to catch one of the intruders, and the rest made a break for it with Hu Yan in tow. The leader be like, "We've got our eyes on the prize just a few weeks away," and he wants Chen Yu to dead set on making sure those intruders don't skip out of Fallen Star Mountain in one piece. Meanwhile, Bai's scratching his head over a busted transmitter, and Faye's like, "Are we gonna make it out alive?" Hu Yan drops the truth bomb that the Lucian clan won't let them waltz out of their scoot free cause they know too much. Faye starts bawling, thinking they're goners, especially since Feng couldn't escape even though he was a big shot at level 7. She's fretting over Bai, wondering if he's scared witless now that they're being hunted. Bai comes clean that, yeah, he's scared, but it's just lighting a fire under his butt to bust out of there even harder. Faye, also shaking in her boots, agrees they should go down swinging so they can all get back to the spirit sector in one piece. Hu Yan's feeling a bit better, so Bai cashes in on his promise and lands him a good old punch for stressing out their crew. Hu Yan suddenly has a light bulb moment, exclaiming, "Wait a minute, you guys must have landed here on a ship, cause you guys clearly missed the horror show in the little villages nearby." He goes on to explain how the Lucian clan and the Blood Steam sector teamed up to cheat the spirit sector's power rules. They went full supervillain mode, offering innocent folks to steal their life essence, leaving no witnesses behind. He thanks the dynamic duo, saying they probably saved his bacon, and urges that they all leave quickly. But just when they think they're in the clear, they get blindsided by an ambush. And guess who's back for round 2? Yep, it's Mr. Unfinished Business himself. Faye's done with the man's yapping, so she gears up to send them on a one-way trip to Trouble Town. Faye demanding Bite to skedaddle and spill the beans about this mountain mess. With Faye's pep talk ringing in his ears, Bite jets off like a startled squirrel. And that's it for this video. The previous part and next part link are in the pinned comments and in description. Also don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.